starting 11s for these two groups. What an interesting dynamic. You have a lot of professionals for Westchester SC and some players that are trying to make it back into the pro ranks.
Well, that's what's so entertaining about the U.S. Open Cup. And for FC Motown, one of the big leaders that you expect to see tonight is Jean Voltaire. He'll be in that back line. He's the communicator, the organizer for them. And on the flip side, for Westchester SC, Juan Obregon is going to be big up top for them and will create a lot of chances in the attacking third.
So what will happen here tonight as we watch FC Motown out of the NPSL and Westchester SC here this evening in Montclair, New Jersey? We're ready for action. Great to have you with us. The 2025 U.S. Open Cup is underway between Westchester and FC Motown. Well, Casey, fascinating to watch how these two teams come out here early in this match. We spoke with Ray Weaver and the rest of this FC Motown group. They're very motivated because they have a lot of guys that are either looking for their next professional contract or looking for that first pro contract.
Well, what more can you ask for? You have this matchup. You want to show that you can compete at that level. And so there's such natural motivation in that for FC Motown to be able to show what they can do and that they can play at that professional level. So it just makes it so exciting on both sides.
And then you have Westchester SC, one of the 6 teams from New York in this tournament, looking to strike here in the early going. Cross comes in, and it is headed away. There was some congestion there, but well handled, and then Bermudez aids it forward. Bolaños. Wrapped back around last year. So many different upsets throughout the tournament, particularly at the beginning, and that's what makes this tournament so beautiful. Sadie charges after this, has to slam the brakes on, sprints in. Sadie whips this ball in, but it whistles high.
In the 1v1 isolation, gets his speed up, decides to use it with that long touch. But what he does well here is he gets inside the penalty area. He has all the advantage there because you certainly don't want to foul in that moment.
7 matches currently going on in the U.S. Open Cup. Only one has a score, and that's Hartford Athletic leading 2-0 in the 52nd minute against New York Shockers. A couple goals in the first half of that match is the difference. Here, both sides have had corners. Both sides defensively have dealt with those chances. Ruiz carries. And that is a foul. You can hear good ball forward here. Obregon tries to chip it through, unable to do so. Now turns into the middle of the park. He gets taken out, and it's a great chance here on a set piece, and it all starts with the turn from Obregon.
And Obregon's incredibly hard to deal with. He has a free role in this game. He is floating in so many spaces. He floats to the outside, he floats to the inside, and he just gets that half yard of space where all they can do is either let him go or foul. They opt for the foul in that moment, and now it sets up the set piece.
What happens here? Will it be a shot at target from J.C. Obregon? Has scored twice in his 4 career appearances in the U.S. Open Cup. When he was with Charlotte Independence last year. Scored 15 during the regular campaign. 27-year-old from Brooklyn. J.C. Obregon whips this ball hard, but it's right into the chest of awaiting Josh Schaefer.
Goes for this in this moment. He's played incredibly well so far, but really good hands by Schaefer, not allowing her.
Schaefer skies this ball down the park. Germain misjudges it. McGlynn knocks it back. FC Motown's been on quite the run as an organization. They've been to 3 NPSL national finals since 2018. A whistle, a foul, and a card.
And this is a pretty simple call for our center official because very obvious Ruiz just goes for the leg to slow down Obregon right there in the middle. They've just been sporadic, so I'd like to see more of that in the wide space especially.
Westchester leads 5-2 in shots. They have the lone shot on target in this match. J.C. Obregon had a chance Or check that was Prince AD in the 32nd minute. And Ruiz blocked it with an empty net, perhaps. Lawrence pulls it back.
Well, and that's where Noah Powder can penetrate a little bit more off the dribble. It just makes someone want to bite a little bit. Right now, it's either got to move quickly or you've got to draw someone out of their defensive shape.
Certainly time a factor here as well. If you're FC Motown, you know you just have a few more minutes to get through the opening 45. Bolaños takes a shot from long range, and it gets saved by Schaefer, but he bobbles it.
Because it could be all for nothing if you don't get to halftime here at 0-0 minimum. And Bolaños gets into that half space between the back line and the midfield line. This is a dangerous corner kick.
And here in the 45th minute, this ball curled around. Schaefer sure-handed this time.
He makes up for it. I like that. He came out really strong in that moment. Make sure it doesn't become a problem.
Speed made that a little more dramatic than he needed, going right back into the teeth of Westchester. Bermudez hunts this ball, and the flag does go up for offside. 45 minutes come to a close as the first half whistle blows, and neither side is able to get a goal here in the opening 45 minutes of play. FC Motown, you're satisfied with it? Certainly need to find a way to get a little bit more creative. Of a long-awaited 110th U.S. Open Cup, second half underway. So we'll see how the second half plays out. Officially, the numbers in the first half: 6 shots, 2 on target for Westchester, 2 shots, none on target. Not just with those performance indicators, but also the age groups that he was producing, the percentages that he wanted in each bucket of ages. And he was able to hit all those spots. Now, after putting all that data into a bowl, you have to come out and see what this team can be like on a game-to-game pitch. And they're playing the first 5 matches of the year on the road. It's going to be a long time until we really know how competitive and how good this team can be.
Well, what was so interesting about talking to him was all the data and how that can be a coach's friend and how they've gotten this framework and their game model and everything ready to go. But he also talked about that being able to get that result helped the belief in the coaching staff and the belief in each other, and that has to continue to build.
A lot of room on that side, and a chance here as this ball's bounced in. Schaefer comes up with a critical save. Second go at it, 2 men save it. It's Voltaire helping Schaefer.
Well, and this was great build-up play, a good slip ball from Obregon, and then a very good opportunity. Schaefer does well. The first initial clearance as well is good, but right there, Voltaire does exactly what he should do. Make sure that he's just that extra little help there that it might be needed on the inline.
Jean Voltaire is a big rig 18-wheeler driver in his daytime, and now he comes and has been a consistent, steady cog in the central defense and comes up with a critical stop there to keep this scoreless.
When speaking to Torrey Weaver, he talked so much about Voltaire and his ability to lead the back line, not only good in 1v1 defending moments, things like that, but to be able to make sure they're completely organized as well.
Leong mishits that ball. It goes out. Corner kick oncoming here for Westchester as they lean a little bit here on FC Motown in the opening moments of this second half of play. This ball curls in. Lawrence wins the header, but it's skies high. Very much a moment here for FC Motown to collect their breaths just a little bit now. We updated you on some of the scores at halftime. Well, Chattanooga has come back to tie New Jersey Alliance. A penalty kick goal from Matt Bentley has tied it for Chattanooga. One apiece, a quarter hour to go in that one. And Loudon have flipped the switch. Christian Sordo, a penalty in the 49th minute, have put Loudon out in front of Westchester United 2-1. While many people's eyes this week might turn to the hardwood and the tournament that will be in NCAA, it's very much a very similar feel here in the U.S. Open Cup, with each passing moment, games getting tighter and tighter, and just waiting for that last second moment of greatness from one of the two sides. Neto charges to the end line, hooks this ball back post. It does stay in play. Bermudez. Bednarski circles. Splits a bunch of defenders, but doesn't latch up with anybody.
Well, there's just a lack of numbers there in the box for FC Motown, but I like what Neto's doing. He's done.
But the difference, 12 touches in the opponent's box for Westchester, 9 for FC Motown. They just haven't pulled that trigger once they've been inside of the 18.
And a lot of that possession for Westchester, especially in the first half, was the center backs and holding mids on the ball.
There's a good run. Neto in the middle of the field. He tries to dart past the defender, leaves it over. It's Ruiz into the gloves of Jacoman. First shot on goal in this match for FC Motown. And would lose to El Farolito in the NPSL final. Michael Watring and Casey White with you here for this matchup here this evening. Looking for a goal for one of these two sides. Shots are 10-4 in favor of Westchester, but we've seen FC Motown start to get some chances.
And a lot of that has come through Neto's feet. I think he's been really good in the middle third, slowing play down, but also being creative to go forward.
Dane Jacoman has needed just one save so far tonight. That came a few moments ago when Ruiz was in transition. Neto, here he is, the composer. Campbell, yet again goes wide. They have some numbers at the top of the 18. On the turn, it's a sprint and a shot coming in that takes one skip, and Jacoman grabs it after Eddie Speed decided to give it a go.
And again, all that happens because Neto's so good at absorbing pressure. It's his first touch, taking it away from the players that are stepping to try to condense the space, and he just absorbs it so well, it allows everyone to get into the attack.
Switch of field here to the far left side. A dart towards the middle. Powder shifts it around. Campbell chases after it. Doesn't win the race. Pierre does. And it's a foul.
And that's a rare mistake.
This ball thrown in, knocked down initially, pivoting, turning, stumbling. It's a penalty. And FC Motown, after so much defending, commits this foul and concedes a penalty kick here in the 79th minute.
Gets this ball back to goal. Great first touch, even better second touch, just keeping possession. Decides to be a little bit creative, try to go through the legs there.
What can Josh Schaefer do here? Facing a penalty kick from Obregon. J.C. Obregon strikes it low and just past Schaefer and into the nets. Westchester finally break through with less than 10 to play, 1-0.
steps up. This penalty isn't about power. Yes, there's enough power behind it, enough speed, but it's about accuracy, keeping it low, and really nothing Schaefer can do on that because of the accuracy and the trajectory of the penalty.
Here's Powder hitting this ball from way outside, and it finds the bleachers, and that allows FC Motown to breathe a little bit easier.
It's really not what you want in that moment. I mean, you can't fault the confidence to try to hit her from that distance, but if you're Westchester SC, you're trying to move the ball, create gaps, make them chase, tire them out, and then look to penetrate and try to get that second goal.
So a few different subs coming in here. So 3 in totality for FC Motown. Joseph Fala, Ilya Tirkis, and Andrew Maya all come in for FC Motown, and then Toby Adewale comes in for Westchester. Some defensive reinforcement for Dave Carton's side. Samari Powder turns on the afterburners. Crosses this ball all the way back post. Vodquez leaves it back. Here's this shot attempt that ricochets, and Schaefer yet again rescues after Makic was trying to make it 2-0.
And this was that last opportunity. Powder, who's come in the second half, it's really been a bright spot, looking to bend this ball in behind the back line. 3 runners to the back post. Vasquez, Voltaire gets a head on it, and then Schaefer's just in the right place, able to change trajectory of which way he was going.
Every second now, so critical for FC Motown to try to find something here down the stretch. There's not enough pace to get over to that ball.
And FC Motown has moved into more of a 3-back as they build, getting one more number in a more advanced position, just trying to make it a little bit more uncomfortable for Westchester as they search for the equalizer. And this was that last opportunity. Powder, who's come in the second half, it's really been a bright spot, looking to bend this ball in behind the back line. 3 runners to the back post. Vasquez, Voltaire gets a head on it, and then Schaefer's just in the right place, able to change trajectory of which way he was going to make that save.
Westchester leads on a J.C. Obregon penalty kick in the 81st minute. Looking for the club's first ever win. Would come here in the 110th U.S. Open Cup. Long ball sent down the park. Fala chases, knocks it back. Tirkis finds space, rolls it to the right. Bermudez back across. And the flag is up for offside. Or no, it's a foul, I'm sorry. Right at the top of the 18-yard box.
Well, and it was interesting because it looked like there was going to be an offside call on this as Tirkis goes, looks in this moment to play to the outside, but he does take him out late, and I think this is the right call. It's a foul at the top of the box. Yes, the offside was after that, but it was after the foul. So this coming back and being a free kick for FC Motown is definitely the right call in my opinion.
Well, if you're FC Motown and you've ever had a dynamic strike, this is the moment to make it happen. Israel Neto is going to be the man tasked with this opportunity.
You see Westchester putting a player down behind the wall as well, so they can jump. They can get maximum height with it being this close, but still be able to block anything that's low. So you see that not all the time, but it's definitely something with this kind of range.
You have 5 directly standing in the wall, 1 laying beneath it, and now 2 more flank the corners. Israel Neto has been great in the run of play. The former Providence Friar strikes this ball and just whistles it wide left.
And it appeared Neto was looking for that gap from right outside the wall. It was actually very close, right over the left shoulder of Obregon, where it looks like it's going to go. It does curl and end up curling over his right.
Just couldn't quite put it on target. Will there be another chance in the waning moments of this one for FC Motown? Neto gets taken out by McGlynn. It's taken away. Westchester trying to see this one out. 90th minute of play. After the save, and now after the club's first ever victory, J.C. Obregon's penalty in the 81st minute allows Westchester to advance to the second round. 1-0 winners over FC Motown.